Come along and join us on this adventure as we join a tag-along tour and cross the Simpson Desert. After meeting up with fellow travellers at Windora, we would make our way west to Birdsville. Taking the QAA line to Poeppel Corner, then it was onto the French line before turning south past the Knolls and then joining the Rig Road, then Dowhouse Springs, Mount Dare, Old Endado, then into Alice Springs via St. Teresa. Due to floodwaters still cutting the QAA line, we had to make a right-hand turn yesterday and take what turns out to be a 60-kilometre detour. After reaching the crossover point of the river, we make this camp for the night. It would have to be one of the most amazing campsites I've ever stayed at. You are nestled on the banks of Air Creek. The vegetation is as green and lush as you'll find anywhere, with golden sand dunes as a silhouette. Each morning starts with a bit of a briefing to confirm that everyone's okay and there are no issues with vehicles, etc. Then a rough plan for the day ahead, including break times and our expected destination for that night. So after the excitement of the radio checks, the first order of business was to make our way across Air Creek. This part of the creek has a firm rocky bottom, so after walking to the other side and identifying where the large rocks were, we settled on a path. Marion was the first to cross and was able to guide from the departure side, and Bob stayed on the approach side guiding each vehicle in turn, and that would see us all safely negotiate crossing Air Creek.
Heading towards the Simpson Desert National Park, and as you can see we've still got patches and patches in between sand dunes of really green lush area, which is due to the last 3 years of big wets.
Last night I sometimes do that we've had that at William Creek before. Of course I'm deaf and asleep and I couldn't hear whether there were rats in the tent.
These are the sort of things that can turn a good day into a not such a good day, as this could very easily puncture the inside of a tyre if you weren't concentrating. With the Air Creek crossing well behind us and the turn off back onto the QAA line looming on the map, we stopped for a short break to stretch the legs and make a cuppa. After following a detour, we are finally back on the QA line and heading for Poeppel Corner.
About 2,000 reps?
Yeah, just about there. So we just, see if you feel it. If it starts, you just pack a little bit more. A little bit more now. you go. Sit.
Reese has made the turn and is now on the
Well done.
Thanks, Reese.
That was alright.
It wasn't long before it was our turn.
Smile for the camera. We're in the Simpson Desert National Park, officially.
The Simpson Desert, or Mungathuri National Park, at 1 million hectares, is Queensland's largest protected area, and the entire desert covers more than 17 million hectares of Central Australia. Across the Simpson, parallel dunes rise to 40 metres and run southeast to northwest, caused by the dominant wind direction when they were formed some 80,000 years ago. The dunes are spaced about 1 kilometre apart and can extend up to 200 kilometres. Far from deserted, the Simpson Desert is home to hardy mammals, many reptiles and over 180 bird species. The Georgina gidgee tree is a rounded wattle tree. It occurs extensively in the dune swales and emits a pungent odour after rain, something similar to that of an overpopulated urinal. Good communication is important out here as traffic travels in both directions, and the last thing you want is a surprise at the top of a dune. So communicating with fellow travellers allows safe passage for all parties.
Reese has just passed oncoming. Thanks for that. Bob, just on the message, there's another oncoming there, behind me. He's just about to pass the station, but I've been watching him. He must have crept up on us.
We find refuge under a gidgee tree and enjoy some lunch and the opportunity to immerse ourselves in the desert environment. After lunch we continue on, with dune after dune. As the vehicles soak up the undulated track, we soak up this vibrant green desert. The plan was still to make it to Poeppel Corner, or thereabouts, and make camp for the night.
This is the detour around that clay pan. Obviously, it's still got water in it.
We have a quick stop to exchange track information with a couple of motorcyclists that were travelling from Mount Dare to Birdsville. Man, that's a hard way of doing the crossing, but they look like they're enjoying themselves.
this is the one that took several different routes last time and quite difficult to get up, but they seem to be making it okay. This is Kent coming back for his second go up this bit of sand dune.
Is it just sandy or bumpy or both?
No, I was crawling up it and it's just sandy right at the top, very sandy.
And he's up and over the top, just crossing the border into Northern Territory. Now, massive salt lake in front of us, which we have to cross, so it could be interesting.
We are now in Humber soon.
And you're in the Northern Territory, so what's the speed limit here? 140.
Not on this hump.
No, look at this.
You see where some
Yeah,
people
so
have
they've done some furrowing through here.
done some digging.
We stop around halfway to check out the salt pan. I believe it's a mixture of sodium and chloride. The moisture after rain brings the salt to the surface, then the sun dries it out, leaving behind this white salt crust that in places is quite deep. The day is drawing on, so given this and the openness of the area around Poeppel Corner, the decision is made to turn right and follow the track until we find an appropriate place to pull up and make camp for the night, and we'll leave the corner for the morning. You may have noticed that the bonnets are up as we made camp. The desert had had a plague of rats and mice. The last thing you want out here is to have that vermin chew wiring or an engine component. By lifting the bonnet, it allows air to flow and cool the engine bay faster, reducing the risk of them making your car dinner and bed for the night.
This is John doing his damper.
Now we get talking.
Yeah, whizzing it around now. That's not what he was doing before.
Bloody hell, John, you're good. Have you done this before,
The
mate?
dancing chef. That's the butter.
It's a Victorian
Working
butter.
that fast.
What is it now? I'm going too fast.
That's what I said,
Is that all right?
going that fast. Filmed me coming up bigger the second time. He got me when I stopped. That was it. The rest was pointing up to the side. You need a knife to stir it together. Yeah. I'm looking. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to add little bits here, probably about a third of it to start with, mix it all together, and then basically knead it in the bowl.
You wouldn't normally do this, but you want to just elongate the process.
Camera angle there, Liz. There you go.
Your hand's shaking.
The emotion.
A bit of a plug for Carlton United as well.
See, and it's the beer, the yeast that makes it right.
I don't know, I'd beg to differ.
Oh, now come on, give me some credit.
You're getting thirsty, John, here.
No, I'm fine.
Smells good. No, don't do it yet. Just get it all together first. Don't start kneading till it's all. I probably need a tad more. Oh, it's hard watching someone do it, isn't it? You just feel like getting in there and going, no. You're doing a very good job, Bob.
I'm trying.
Body
Scoop all the
movements
rest
too,
into
isn't it? It's got the whole body.
Oh, it isn't it? There you go. Use that as. Oh.
It's big, isn't it?
Use that as some.
As soon as it's just. Look at that. It's lovely.
All right. Once you got the shade.
It's now ready.
That's enough.
Everybody duck in.
You don't want to take the air out of it.
So now put it in the front of your car so that it can stay nice and warm. Once we got coals in the fire, put that in, warm it up, and then put that in there.
What is that? Is that damper? John made that with the help of Marion.
We made that.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah, like that, Marion. Goes in the hut.
I put it around,
Yeah.
around the edge.
Good.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, let me just zoom in. Oh, look at that.
Made it a bit crunchy.
Oh, wow.
It's being an armchair, sort of. Couple around the edge, 28 minutes.
I was going to say, we got a time? We got a timer?
We'll go to bed now. Who wants to second guess it? Who wants to see
It sounds hollow when you tap it.
It is actually when you...
Sounds cooked on the outside, doesn't it?
Well, morning breaks on another cracking day in the Simpson Desert. We've got a great team and everybody's gelling well together.
All right, after a wonderful damper that we cooked last night, a good night's kip, we're now working our way down to Poppel's People's Corner. Just had a bit of a debate over that, so we decided that we'd just call it the corner and then we can move on. We'll have some morning tea there and hopefully then down through the Knowles track, and then we'll break camp somewhere down that way, one of the junctions later in the day. So we'll see how we go.
This is stunning. The track runs parallel with this huge salt pan for K's and K's. We are looking for a turn to the right. That'll be to Poppel Corner.
manage to come up, it gets a little bit softer the top third.
60 k's coming.
So just wanted to time up the first one on the Saturday.
See, it would have stopped. We would have bottomed out before.
Yep.
That's that little bit extra.
And the tyres.
And the tyres. Yep. Three up there. Don't worry. Queensland. Now I'm in South Australia. Now I'm in the Northern Territory.
We arrive at Poeppel Corner, the meeting place of 3 states, South Australia, Northern Territory and Queensland, where a large information board stands with a welcome message from the traditional owners. Amongst other things, a note about the location of the post. You see, back in the mid-1880s, Augustus Poeppel conducted a survey to find the exact location of the Central Colony's borders. Originally, the point was located in a salt lake, but it was found that the measuring chain used had worn and was a few centimetres too long.
Going across Lake Poeppel.
Another survey was conducted by Lawrence Wells, who relocated the post to its current position. Here's some trivia. At this location, New Year's Eve occurs 3 times each year due to the 3 different time zones. So after signing the book, a bit of a feed, we were soon back on the track.
Still some wet spots in this lake too. Anyone wants to actually stop, from Friday, please do so. We'll just continue slope to the other side.
Part of the track was challenging. It's like you were actually just driving around on the tops of monstrous dunes, but every now and then you come across one with significant gradients.
Okay, what's that one?
Yeah, big red's easy in comparison to this one.
Left and right.
Mary's coming back to the top of the dune for some more video.
We're coming back.
We're coming back.
Corner.
Are you in low? Well, you tried to.
I just come in the corner a bit too fast.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We were all but there. Probably, I just could feel it just wasn't going to go any further.
Don't hit that corner so hard.
No, I'm not. I'm in high. I'm going to go back down and do it in low range.
Yeah, go back and do low range now.
Yeah, just run out of revs.
Three.
Keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going.
Keep going, keep going, keep going,
Hey,
keep
lesson
going.
Straight
learned.
your wheels.
I put some air in the tyres this morning because they looked extremely flat. After around an hour or so driving, obviously the pressures increased to the point where they weren't working effectively in the soft sand. Bloody rookie mistake. That's why travelling with people that know what they're doing is always a good idea.
Front wheels, Stephen.
So join us next time on Overland Australia Adventures to see how we extract ourselves from our current dilemma. Join us next time when our friend Bob finds the lone gum tree. We continue to get treated with spectacular sunsets. Not everybody's happy to see us. And look what I find on the back porch.